What if the first day in a strange school showed you more about yourself than it did about anyone else? Fucking first day of school. Halfway through the semester in a new town. Need I say more? Dad moved us here for a job. Could I be more of a cliche? My mom was mumbling something as she drove me to school. Being 15 sucks. Half the kids were driving themselves to school, and the other half were getting a ride from one of their friends who was already 16. I get to show up in the swagger wagon, chauffeured by my mom. I put my headphones in and vibed to Motionless in White all the way there. As we pulled up to the school, I flipped up the hood on my black The Plot in You hoodie and hopped out of the car. My mom was calling sweet, encouraging nothings from the car, but I couldn't hear what she was saying. As I was walking, I noticed the girls first. All of them were blonde-haired. Every one of them was wearing skinny jeans and a pink shirt that said, "I'm an influencer." Kinda weird, but whatever. Then I noticed all the guys. They all had mullets, black shorts that looked like swimming trunks, and sleeveless shirts that said, "Do you even lift, bro?" As I walked into the school, I looked around to find a guidance counselor's office, but I didn't see anything. It was just a sea of blonde hair and mullets. One guy was walking by me, so I stopped him to ask him a question. "Hey man, do you know where the counselor's office is?" He stared back at me, confused why I was talking to him. "Bro?" he asked, then walked away. A girl walked in the door behind me. I turned to see another blonde-haired, pink shirt girl. "Hey, do you know where the counselor is?" She seemed stressed as she answered me. "I can't even right now." She rolled her eyes and turned into a classroom. As I turned back to the hallway, the sea of blonde parted, and a girl was walking down the middle of the hall. Her wavy brown hair bounced and flowed behind her like the wind had come down the hall. The closer she got, the more I noticed her green eyes and the thick black eyeliner. Her red shirt stood out from all the pink. I must have stopped in the middle of the hall as I was looking at her, because from behind me, a guy ran into me. "Bro," he said to me angrily. "I'm sorry." I tried to tell him, but he just grunted, adjusted his backpack, and went on down the hall. I tried to look past him to see that girl again, but she was gone. "Hey, can you tell me where the counselor's office is?" I yelled after him. He looked back at me like he was thinking, "How could I be so dumb?" "Bro," then continued down the hall. "I just need to know where the counselor is so they can show me my classes. Today is my first day." The guy paused and turned around. He now had a crew-cut hairstyle, and he was wearing jeans with his tank top. "It's down the hall to the left. Second door, I think." "Thanks. I'm Ivan," I told him. His shirt is now a button-up flannel. "I'm Josh." He thinks for a moment. "Here, follow me. I will take you to her. I had a few classes, but that doesn't really matter." Then it was time for lunch. I scanned the lunchroom looking for a place to sit. I noticed Josh eating his lunch, talking with some other guy with a mullet and a sleeveless shirt. I sat next to Josh as he was mid-conversation with this bro. I think I died 15 times trying to beat the goblin in the Frost Knight's dungeon. The bro couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Bro." Josh noticed that I was sitting next to him. "Oh, hey, man." Then he went back to his conversation. "Have you heard of the secret chest right after you get into the dungeon? There is this ledge that, if you stand in the right place and jump, then you can go behind the wall, and there's the chest. It has a poison dagger." One hit. The goblin was down. The bro was staring at me confused, not listening to Josh's story. "Bro." "Oh, this is Ivan. He is new. He is an exchange student from New Zealand." "I'm from Iowa." Josh looked confused about his source of information. "Really? Everyone has been saying your dad moved you back after he finished working on a Hobbit movie." I could see on his face that he was trying to piece together how people came up with New Zealand. "Anyways, this is Brian. We just got the Chalice of Fortune. Have you played it yet?" I looked over at Brian. He was wearing a college football shirt with shaggy hair. "No, not yet. I wanted to get it, but with the move and all." Brian was quick to invite me over. "Tuesdays we play at my house. You can come over and we can create a class for you." Josh was all on board. "Yeah, that would be awesome. I could see you as a high elf." He kept talking, but I wasn't sure what he was saying. My eyes were caught by that girl from the hallway. She was sitting a few tables away. She was surrounded by bros and influencers. Who's that? My interruption took Josh aback. What? Who? I tried to point at her with my eyes. Her, with the brown hair. Josh looked over at her for a second. Oh, she's a bitch. Don't worry about her. If you were a high elf with sneak as a secondary skill. I interrupted him again. Why is she a bitch? She won't talk to you. She has never talked to us. She won't talk to anyone who is not at that table. I know a place you could get a really powerful staff. I found it myself. I have not even seen anyone else on YouTube who has found it yet. Have you ever tried to talk to her? Josh was so confused by my question. What? No. Maybe you're the bitch. Brian laughed at me as I was getting up. There was a spot next to her, so I took it. Hey, today is my first day here. Is it cool if I eat with you? Her soft voice comforted me, but her piercing eyes made me nervous. Yeah, sure. Brian and Josh looked at me in shock. My confidence was instantly shaken when the girl sitting across from me noticed I sat next to her. Ew! The girl from the hall came to my rescue. He's fine. He can sit with us. The influencer on the other side was disgusted. I can't even. The brown-haired girl finally gave me her name. I'm Rosemary. That's Gwen. Don't worry about her. Gwen interrupts Rosemary. Gwen is still a blonde-haired girl with a pink shirt. So, anyway, before I was interrupted, I started a new movement that I think could really change the world. I'm like so humble. And I think that the world would be so much better if everyone were as humble as me. So if you could all follow me for inspirational quotes and lifestyle hacks to be as humble as possible. The more followers I can get, the more people will see how humble I am, and they will try to be more like me. Could you imagine how great the world would be? I will send you all my new profile. Everyone at the table was so focused on Gwen and trying to find her new social that they didn't even notice Rosemary started talking to me. What's the plot in you? Rosemary asks. It's a metal band. Metal? They're not very heavy, are they? Yeah, they're pretty heavy. Then why doesn't their name look like a pile of brush? They're not like that. It's more melodic. It's better. So it's softer? Are they soft metal, like gold? Yeah, they're gold, you could say that. Do you listen to metal? I've heard it. I don't listen, though. What do you listen to? Nothing, really. You don't listen to music? No, not on my own. It's on in friends' cars and stuff, but I don't listen on my own. Why not? All songs of a band sound alike. All bands of a genre sound alike. All genres in a decade sound alike. After a while, all music begins to sound the same to me. Just four chords, over and over again. So what do you listen to? Are you one of those audiobook people? No. Enough interesting things happen every day. I think about the things that happened. I do that too. Always thinking about what I should have said. No. What happened, happened. If I said something wrong, then it made it more interesting. I already think you are the most interesting person I have ever met, and you didn't say anything wrong. Bro. Another bro was standing over me. He looked pissed. Rosemary spoke for me. This is the new kid. He's from New Zealand. Did you say what your name was? It's Ivan. Bro. Bro was obviously annoyed that I was sitting in what seemed like his spot. It's okay, Kyle. You can sit across from me, she told him. Of course, his name is Kyle. Kyle took the seat across from her, but his eyes remained on me. You guys dating? Bro, he said in an obvious way. I'm from Iowa, by the way. Not New Zealand, where people are Corey Taylor short, not Frodo Baggins short. Bro, Kyle says, not understanding a word I said. I wasn't too interested in talking to this bro, so I went back to Rosemary. So, did you ever listen to music, or did something change? Gwen interrupted their conversation. What are you doing, Zealand? Obviously, she has a boyfriend. Like, she is too nice to tell you to leave her alone. Obviously, she's not falling for you. You're just making our whole lunch awkward. I'm sorry. You're right. I will leave. I stood up and looked around the lunchroom. Maybe I should try to find a girl who's alone. Clearly, I don't need to approach the prettiest girl in school on my first day. I spotted an influencer sitting at a table with others, but she didn't seem to be part of their group. She looked sad. Hey, is anyone sitting here? I asked as I approached her. She looked at me, confused about why I was talking to her. She didn't say that someone was sitting there, so I slid into the seat across from her, trying to act like it was normal. Before I had a chance to introduce myself, she just stared at me like I'd just spilled spoiled milk on her. You don't get it, do you? She said, loud enough for half of the lunchroom to hear. You're the new kid. Everyone's watching you. And what do they see? You blow off the first people who are actually nice to you. Then you throw yourself at the most popular girl in school, who, by the way, has a boyfriend sitting right there. When that doesn't work, you come crawling over here like I'm your backup option. My chest tightened. Most of the lunchroom had gone silent. Even Gwen wasn't talking anymore. She leaned in, her eyes sharp. You think you're special? You think the rest of us are just background characters in your story? No, what everybody sees is that you're just another jerk who doesn't bother to know anyone before deciding who they are. And now, that's what you are here, the jerk. The words hit harder than anything Kyle or Gwen could have said. My face burned as I stood up and walked away. At first, the lunchroom still looked like the same repeating pattern. Mullets, pink shirts, influencers, bros. But when I slowed down, I started noticing the cracks. A bro hunched over a sketchbook, shading some monster he'd drawn. An influencer girl scrolled her phone, her fake smile dropping when she looked at her text, with no response. Even Kyle wasn't glaring anymore. He was staring at Rosemary like he was terrified she might slip away. They weren't clones, they weren't extras. They were just people. I spotted Josh and Brian across the room. My stomach twisted, but I forced myself to walk over. Hey, I muttered. Look, I was the bitch earlier. You guys were actually cool to me, and The words stuck in my throat. The whole lunchroom had gone quiet, eyes darting between me, Josh, and Brian. Everyone was listening. Josh shifted in his seat, uncomfortable under the weight of it. Brian stared at his tray, saying nothing. I wanted them to laugh it off, to say it was fine. But I could see it written all over their faces. Me standing there just made them a bigger target. So I stopped. Never mind, I whispered and backed away before I embarrassed them any further. I left the lunchroom, my face hot, my arms numb. By the time the final bell rang, I couldn't stand to wait for my mom to pick me up. I just started walking home. With every step, the truth sank deeper. Maybe the problem wasn't that they all looked the same. Maybe it was that I never really looked at them at all. Halfway home, I passed a middle-aged dad, cargo pants, tucked-in shirt, and white sneakers, washing his car. Normally, I would have walked right past. This time, I forced myself to really look at him. He was wearing jeans and an untucked t-shirt. He looked kind of sad, like maybe the car he was washing wasn't the car he really wanted. Or maybe him and his wife had a fight and he came outside to get away from her for a little while. As I watched him, he looked up at me and I nodded at him. Hey, I said. He blinked, surprised, but raised his hand in a half wave. Hey. He smiled, and for a second, he forgot about whatever was going on in his head. It wasn't much, just a word. But for the first time all day, I wasn't looking at a stereotype. I was looking at someone. And that felt like a start.
Hey, Gwen here. If you survived that first day disaster, go ahead and hit that like button so YouTube will show this video to other people that need to be as humble as me. And click that subscribe button so you can join the popular clique at lunch. Okay, ciao!